Hey guys, how's it going? This is Purger of MediaAlternatives.net, your best source for alternative news, politics, documentaries, interviews, things of the like. I had a few news stories here that caught my eye today, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. How about that? Um, First story I got here was a pretty big story, and this is probably mainstream, so I can take it back from it being not well heard of. But more or less, it was in India, in Mumbai. There was a pretty big attack overnight. We have 80 people killed and nearly 1,000 wounded. Apparently, some militants over there took over a few hotels. Amongst the dead are the anti-terrorism chief, police and military officials, and at least a few hostages have been taken. So yeah, it's still a very volatile part of the world over there in India. Got to keep in mind that it is right next door to Pakistan. Looks like it was done by the Deccan Mujahideen over there. So yeah, crazy situations. Next thing here, and this is really a shame. Official Bin Laden's driver heading home to Yemen. Now, this is Osama bin Laden's driver. He was a kid, drove around Osama bin Laden. Had absolutely nothing to do with any attacks anywhere whatsoever. He was held in American prison camps for looks like 5.5 years. So here we've wasted 5.5 years of this guy's life. He was probably tortured, probably had all of his human rights violated upon, and here we go. We let the guy go 5.5 years later. Now, is he going to get any sort of reparations for it? I doubt it. As far as most of the American people are concerned, hey, this guy was a crazy terrorist. Salim Hamdan, he doesn't sound familiar, and he's a terrorist. But all this guy did was drive around Osama bin Laden's car for him, trying to make a living, and we steal 5.5 years of the guy's life. So that's our tax money at work. Excellent. We have another story here. Now, I'm not German, so I can't really comment from a German perspective on this story, but it sounds pretty bad to me. The headline here, this is off of Yahoo News, and apparently there was a man over there who got his gun license taken away because he was sleeping with it under his pillow. The judge ruled that it was being irresponsible because he was not controlling himself as he was asleep. Therefore, he did not deserve to have his gun. I don't know what to say on this. I mean, I know exactly what to say, but it's a very, very crazy thing. I mean, you have to think about what's the real feasibility that you're going to have a chance to put your gun in a lockbox, and if someone kicks in your front door within that 30 or 40 seconds or so, you're going to be able to think of your combination, decide how you're going to get the gun out, and what you're going to do to try and defend your house. And meanwhile, you get your ability to have a gun taken away because you have it under your pillow, which is the quickest place for you to pull it out on someone when you sleep. So let's not let America get there. Let's make sure that America stays free and that we can keep our guns. It's a right. It's a human right for everybody. Even though they try and make you sign, they try and make everyone get papers and registration or whatever for your gun. It's still a right, and I don't care how many different ways they try and interpret the writing in the Constitution. It's a right to bear arms for everybody. I mean, the founders knew this. Don't let them, when I say them, I mean people in courts and people in Congress, and don't let them try and go over that fact with you. I mean, we know what they all meant. And these people trying to take American liberties, let's kick down their front door and see if they don't wish they had a gun. Let me see. Last but not least here, it's a pretty funny editorial. It's on the top of MediaAlternatives.net. If you go to the page, check out the very top. You're gonna see an editorial here. It looks pretty funny. It's got Obama. He's got a book. It says fairy tales. On the bottom it says, and cars will drive on water, and money will grow on trees, and no one will ever grow old. So this pretty much just kind of shows how people kind of place all of their just hopes and dreams on Obama. And I guess the thing is, he was just so vague that people were able to just superimpose all their hopes. Whenever he said change, they say, well, hey, that means that he's going to change how much I'm making in my check, or that means that he's going to change the way that we're doing war. Or, I mean, you can superimpose change on anything. So, I mean, this guy, uh, he's found a great way to kind of dupe people and make people just feel like he's great. And I just kind of thought that this editorial was a very great example of how people kind of look at this whole situation. So, once again, this is Purger for MediaAlternatives.net. These are just a few news stories I saw that seem to be pretty interesting here for today. You can get the full list at MediaAlternatives.net. Links back to all the original articles, etc. Take a look at some of the documentaries there as well on fluoride and other things you don't really hear a lot about and how they're bad for you. Different things like that. Alright guys, have a great Thanksgiving. Peace.